We sometimes hear about countries being one of the largest economies in the world. That is a misleading statistic, because a list of the largest economies in the world tends to favour big countries. Let's look at the current top 10 of countries in the world. Biggest is the USA. So going down, next is China, then Japan, then Germany, then the United Kingdom, and then France and India. Roughly the same size. There are different ways of determining the size of an economy, and some will put India ahead of France, but most of the lists that I've found put France ahead of India. And then two countries again which have roughly the same size of economy, Brazil and Italy. And most of the lists put Italy ahead of Brazil, but some of them will put Brazil ahead. And then right at the bottom of the top 10 is Canada. And there are different ways, as I say, of deriving or deciding which economy is larger than which. But loosely speaking, it's determined by how much money is spent in a given economy in the course of a year. And looking at the list of the 10 biggest economies in the world, what you'll immediately notice, I think, is how Western it is. 4 of those countries are in Europe, 2 are in North America. The remainder, 3 are in Asia, 1 is in South America, and Africa is not represented. If you extend it to the top 30, it would include Nigeria, which would be the largest African economy. Another thing you'll probably notice is how very large a lot of those countries are in terms of geographical area. The USA and Canada and India and China are all huge countries, as is Brazil. So roughly half of these are very, very big countries in terms of geographical area. And another thing you'll notice is how they tend to have very big populations. India and China both have a population of above 1 billion. The USA, something like 300 million. And if I've got it right, Canada is the only one in the top 10 to have a population below 50 million. So this is an unreliable statistic, because how big an economy is doesn't tell you how rich on average each individual person is. To give an obvious example of this, Britain and India, similar size of economies, Britain slightly bigger, but when you break it down by population, Britain is far, far richer than India, because India has a much, much larger population. So this is a helpful statistic. World's largest economy. It is a helpful statistic provided that you know what it means and what it does not mean. It is a guide to how much money there is in a given economy at any one point in time. It is not an indication of the wealth of each individual person averaged out.